This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are taking a look at the Rakdos Knights deck that is arguably the best deck available for best of one play in arena right now, and a serious contender in best of three. Rakdos Knights won the Portland Grand Prix, one of the last big standard Magic tournaments back in December, and it has been all over the ladder. Untapped GG released some findings that said that the top tier decks in best of one ladder play are Rakdos Knights and Gruul Embercleave. So two aggressive Embercleave decks in the top tier. Yeah, not Jund Catfood, not Simic Flash, not Jeskai Fires. Gruul aggro and Rakdos aggro. So this one stood out as the best, and what you're looking at is just an insanely aggressive deck. We have all the Stormfist Crusaders, Black Lance Paragons in the 2 spots. We have all the 1-drops in Fervent Champion, Knight of the Ebon Legion, and Gutterbones. Rotting Regisaur, just smashing with Embercleave, pretty amazing. And then we have the flex spots, and 4 of them go to basically Thought Seize, Thought Erasure in 1 mana card here in Drillbit to take away the sweeper or interaction the opponent needs to stop the Embercleave. You just take it away for 1 mana. Pretty good deal. And then the other cards are the flex spots, really, some removal. We have 2 Murderous Rider and 2 Bone Crusher Giant. You could turn these into Shocks, Legion's End, maybe. I don't know, whatever you're trying to put in this spot. Rankle I've seen from some decks. But yeah, these 4 spots, you just want to be able to kill a thing here and there. The rest of the deck, I mean, yeah, we talked about it. It's like all rares and mythics. Rare, 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 the lowly uncommon, and mythic. So yeah, if you want to play this, it is not a budget build by any stretch of the imagination, which is probably the only thing that keeps it from being on the level of mono red in terms of overall playedness on ladder. But we'll take it. Whoa. Editor, please cut those disgusting noises. I am feeling better. This is not a lie. I am not a robot sent to replace CGB. These nose and throat noises have proven it. But anyway, so what was I saying? This deck is dumb. Obviously, my style doesn't speak to decks that try to kill the opponent before they get to do anything. That, to me, is not a fun game. And you can see it when I play against these decks. A lot of people point out that I'm mean to red mages or I'm salty or something. And it's like, well, everybody has their triggers. Aggro decks that try to kill the opponent before they get to do anything, those are my trigger. I don't think that's a game. I don't think that's a very fun game. I get it's very competitive and smash and all that kind of thing, but combo, mid-range control, those things speak to my soul as I try to finagle how to outplay my opponent. These don't feel like that ever. So it's not my style, but I do believe in knowing your enemy, and I also believe in playing all the different decks for all the different types of people out there. So we're going to examine this build here today. I also threw in a sideboard, even though I'm going to play best of one ranked because I like best of one ranked. Read the description if you want to throw a bit about best of 3. But there is a sideboard for you best of 3 players if you want to go out and use it. This is the way I would throw together a sideboard. All right, let's dive in. Let the night nonsense begin. 40. We are taking on the number 40. Whatever will happen. Well, this hand is tap land on turn 1, which is really bad. The rest of the hand is pretty darn good, though. Well, is it? It's a lot of pressure, but it doesn't start from turn 1 the way the deck wants to. I think we just have to mulligan it and do better. Mulliganing with this deck is pretty easy. So here, I think we can put the mountain away, even though our mana is so perfect. I think we put the mountain away, or maybe we just put drill bit away and go 1, 2, 3 on the play. That sounds pretty great. We'll draw another drill bit. It's fine. Be the champion. Why the lag? What the heck is going on today? Alright, shake it off. Shake it off, client. I want to play Magic. I want to smash the mage that is blue. God, it feels so wrong. It feels so wrong. Alright, they have a gargoyle. Gargoyle can block, and probably will for a while thanks to my Stormfist Crusader. We'll play this dinosaur. And we'll send the Crusader in because it has menace and gets around this gargoyle. And our mono blue opponent, they've got this 5/4 that can block, but what else will they be able to do? And what do we discard? I guess we'll discard the land, because if we draw another land, we can play Gutter Bones and the Regisaur. Although that's running into a counter spell. Alright. What you got? I'll even send the Fervent Champion here to get the extra points of damage in, because the opponent has to do something. If they block the Fervent Champion, we can play a Paragon, they'll counter it. Yeah. Otherwise, though, we could play the Paragon around the counter magic, if we just know that they're going to counter it and we don't want them to use their mana well. This is fine. Okay, mill. Wench is a card. But like they can't afford inefficient turns here. And they can't afford to let me resolve any more stuff. So here's a mountain, here's a Gutter Bones. If they counter that, we play the Regisaur. If they don't, we just play the Paragon when they let their shields down. Cutthroat, Paragon. Like, what are you gonna do? So much pressure over here. And you're going to 3. What is a mono blue deck to do? Let's do this first so we have a choice in cards to discard. I believe this land can go. Another Paragon is nice. Alright, here they come. What are you gonna do about it? Yep. Now you need a bounce spell or something just to live. Once you do that, I'll play a Paragon, take out this gargoyle. Cutthroat? Or, it's a Brazen Borrower on the Regisaur, so sure. I have the mana to pay for a Quench. We'll see if the opponent also stacks, like, Essence, what's it's called? Essence Capture. Give the Paragon the Death Touch and the lifelink so the gargoyle goes down. Less resources to survive with. The opponent with a second Brazen Borrower to bounce the other Paragon. It does mean that their Gutter Bones will no longer trade here. And we'll play another one of these while they're tapped out. The opponent's going to 1, facing a Stormfist Crusader after all. And you don't gain much life in mono blue. So how do they get out of this mess? They have to bounce the Stormfist Crusader now. They have to not take another point of damage for the rest of their life. They kept on top. It better solve the problem. Third Brazen Borrower, sure. They're only on 1 mana, so we just replay this. So the gargoyle can attack now. That's something. But what are you gonna do? You can't really attack with this, or I attack you, and you have to double block these. Oh. Okay. Well, now you're just losing your blockers. All right. So be it. Block, block. Still have to block that. You still have to bounce this till the rest of time. If I ever untap with it, you die. And we'll play the Knight, because even 1 damage sneaking through is the end for this deck. So how do they get out of it? They don't. That's game. Christian Lozano. Here come the Knights. We're on the play. Oh my goodness. Smashings and bashings. So we're going to lead with a Fervent Champion next turn, have double Fervent Champion, and either Drill Bit or Knight of the Ebon Legion. Oh yeah. Let the horses ride, baby. And I think that getting the Knight of the Ebon Legion pumped to a 4 is where we want to be. I think the sooner this starts growing, the harder it is for the opponent to deal with. And I think that we can Drill Bit in the near future. It's okay to let the opponent have a 2, even if it is Runaway Steamkin. It's actually slow against this hand and this combination of cards. So the opponent does have a Fervent Champion to trade with our Fervent Champions. It does reduce our Fervent Champion's usefulness a bit, but I think we still just move in. Never stop attacking. All right. If we're taking all that damage, do we want to get some lifelink in there? Or do we want to save our Paragon for something else? Feels good to Drill Bit this turn and try to disrupt the opponent from their Steamkin shenanigans. But if we're going to be mana efficient, I guess we do want our Paragon and a little bit of life. And we'll hit your hand. See if we can keep this Steamkin from being too effective. So there's a Bone Crusher Giant, that's pretty good. Robber of Rich, that's not very good. Skewer the Critics, that's awkward. And Torbran. I think the Bone Crusher Giant's the best card against us. It's not good. It's going to take out either the Black Lance Paragon or the Champion. I think that's... yeah, I think it's the most value. It also makes this turn pretty awkward. The opponent can play a third land, skewer the Critics, the Paragon, and attack with the Steamkin, but that doesn't accomplish very much. And they take a huge counter hit. None of these cards are very good defensively. The 2-mana 2/2 isn't going to do much other than keep this Fervent Champion away. And here's a Shock off the top. That's good. They needed a curve filler. That's one of the better draws I think they could have. Now let's see how they want to play this attack. Oh, okay. You still think you're the aggro. Ooh. Alright, so I hit them for 7 and they're at 4, and then they have to block the Knight of the Ebon Legion until the end of time. Oh, they'll be at 3 actually. I guess it's still pretty good. We're done. We're going to take a pretty big smash from the Torbran, but if we draw a red source, we win. So we'll see where this goes. The opponent also has to draw the mountain for the Torbran, or they have to use the, I guess they're going to use the skewer to fuel the Torbran, which is fine. It's okay. I wonder if you skewer one of these critters, though. What is the top card? That's the question now. Can we close this game? Or are we going to lose? Uh-huh. Torbs is here. Paragon. Okay, Paragon's interesting. The opponent still has to block the Knight, and they can't really stop the Knight. Like, Torbran doesn't kill it. Whoa! Does the opponent have another Torbran? This does 4. This is a 5. I think we're okay. Okay. They must have another one. Yep, here we go. So, now what? Double attack. The opponent gets to exile something. What is it? Murderous Rider? So, Gutterbones can block here. This is a really good block on the Steamkin. And that's the scoop. The opponent knows losing the Steamkin and the damage there means their Torbrand has to chump block the Knight of the Ebon Legion, and they don't want to live in a world where that's the reality. I think the key to this game, honestly, was the drill bit taking the Bone Crusher Giant. The opponent rallied pretty well, drawing a shock, but the value from Bone Crusher Giant and its size, I think, would have really helped them stay alive. Toby Touch. Toby Touche. Touche. Toby Touchy. Nope. None of that is good. And neither is this hand. We'll have to mulligan this particular one. Mana, you just have to mulligan for it. Mana in this standard is pretty rough. Adding Dragon Skull Summit to this deck makes it so good. I tried it out in Historic. It really was the only card I needed, was Dragon Skull Summit from Historic, and the deck was so good. Nope. Okay. So, we want a 1-2-3 curve. Guess we'll put back you two. Are we on the draw? We are on the draw. I think on the draw, Bone Crusher Giant's better than a Blacklands Paragon. Opponent wants to be friendly. We'll give him a chance. Okay, they have a tapped Blood Crypt. Could be a mirror. Let's see what they've got for this Knight of the Ebon Legion. Nope, Grixis. Would have rather had the Blacklands Paragon. Oh well. You don't... That's a good top deck. You never know. Now we'll see if they have their Cry of the Canarium right on time. Ritual of Soot is a particularly strong card against the Knights deck because, unlike most things, it hits the Regisaur. It hits absolutely everything you have, unless you put some Rankles in the deck. Okay, are we... What are we doing? Ooh, drill bit. Okay. See if the opponent wants to put a blocker here when I could just devour their Fae of Wishes with the Knight. And that tells me that they are happy to make me use my mana. So they are about to have their Fires of Invention turn, which to me that means we want to drill bit them. More than we want to kill their Fae of Wishes. Ooh. They have Ritual of Soot, but they don't have the mana for it. They actually have a really good hand. So I think we take Fires of Invention and hope that they never do find the mana for the Ritual, or that we make them take so much damage in the meantime. They have a really good hand. So this is Drawn from Dreams, probably for a black source. When I see a hand like this, I want to play Grixis myself. Very much. Show these Knights decks the meaning of pain. Of course, if we find an Embercleave here off the top, we do a ton of damage. Let's go ahead and stomp the face. We get the bonus draws. There's an Embercleave. Opponent with a Fae of Wishes block here. Ritual of Soot, assuming that they play the Black Source and play the Ritual of Soot, is going to blow up their Fae of Wishes. So I'm not really trying to kill that. I'm trying to get the face damage in. So we'll go over here. And now I'm expecting either Enter the God Eternals or the Ritual. If the opponent uses Enter the God Eternals, I can move the Embercleave over and still have a pretty good attack. Yeah, they're going for it. And they mill me, and I hit a Gutter Bones. Value. Just a reminder, this is a mulligan to 5 that we're battling through here. Interesting. Wait, I'm not... What am... Okay, I viewed my exile. That's what just happened. Suit up. Get in there. Who wants some? The 4/4 should block. We'll see what the opponent chooses to do. The knight will trade with the 4/4, which isn't particularly impressive. Oh. Interesting. The opponent wants to keep the 4/4, so they have another, I think, is what that tells me. That they have another Enter the God Eternals. And they drew another Fires, so, or they found it, but I think they would have played it last turn. Okay, Bolus. Pretty good. Yeah, the opponent has it all going their way now. Can we draw a Fervent Champion? That would be great. We can't. So the opponent has a Ritual Soot, so we know we're not going to sneak our Regisaur Embercleave plan through. So let's just play out our Gutter Bones, and let's take down the Bolus. It's not good. Not even close to good. The opponent now can Cavalier of Gales, but yeah, they've got this game pretty much in the bag. I don't see how we could possibly recover. Their hand was everything I'd ever want.
I'm Chandra, the immolation sensation. Hope it's not too...
That's aggressive. I would have exiled the Gutter Bones, for sure. And the opponent's spamming Planeswalkers. Okay.
Your corpse will all be dead. This looks like a fun new toy.
I don't think it matters, because what could I draw? Pretty much nothing. The deck, once it's behind, it only has a little bit of haste in Fervent Champion. So really, you just have to, like, you have to survive the wave, you have to survive the pressure, and if I have to take a few awkward turns like we did in this game, you can't win. So we'll scoop it up here. It makes me want to play Grixis when I see draws like that, but anybody who watched my last few streams knows that playing Grixis, draws like this are few and far between. Kahane. Kane. Kahane. It's a good curve, so we keep it. We have the mana, so we keep it. We're up against the exact same deck, so yay. May the best knight win. Of course, we're on the draw. So that means we want to trade. We're up a card by default. Oh, okay, our opponent's going to play Mardu. And not attack. They're going to be the defense. It's kind of weird. We also have Stormfist Crusader. How many cards do we want to be drawing on these upkeeps? And what do we want to be Bone Crushing? Our opponent can't Embercleave next turn. Do I want to Bone Crush their Crusader? Or do I want to play my own? I said we wanted to be the one trading, right? Okay, so we'll play the value game. The opponent already took a defensive stance with their Fervent Champion. Maybe we can exploit that a little bit. Okay, they want to grind. They have a claimed contender, we don't. Got it. Ugh. Ugh. And now they can chain them. It's brutal. So now what do we do? I guess I play this Bone Crusher Giant. Try to get a trade. We're already stuck on the defense. Our opponent will also have first Embercleave opportunity. Doesn't look like they're going to take it, though. I guess they could still play a land and go for that. I'll probably Embercleave next turn if I get the chance, as opposed to taking a trade. Interesting. So the opponent has some kind of a trick. It's Blacklands Paragon or something. If I block, they're going to get me, so we can't do that. And you have to pass through first strike. There you go. And then you play a veteran. So they have a Bone Crusher Giant, I'm guessing. They could have something else. Unfortunate to draw that. I would love to add that to this attack. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not dead. So let's get them. try to be the one to first to Embercleave. If the opponent doesn't block at all, though, I can't really afford to Embercleave because we think they have a Bonecrusher Giant. If I put them on Blacklands Paragon, then they don't have lethal, potentially. They only have one other card I don't know about. Alright, they block Gutter Bones. So we'll suit up the Bones, and the Bones will kill off the contender and get some damage through. I think that's the right play to get something dead. And then next turn we can play Fervent Champion, Embercleave, equip it, and play our Stormfist Crusaders, potentially. I don't think our opponent has Embercleave, because we knew their last two cards. One's like a Blacklands Paragon or a Bonecrusher Giant, unless they're a bluffer, but most of the time online people don't bluff. They're too afraid. And this lack of a full attack definitely signals that they are not bluffing, that they don't have Embercleave. Okay, and they say go. So they have Bonecrusher Giant, probably, and Bonecrusher Giant or Blacklands Paragon is one of these cards. So what's our play? I guess we'll make the opponent remove the Fervent Champion, play the Rotting Regisaur. Yeah, that's pretty good. Because if the opponent can't solve the Regisaur and it carries Embercleave, we're in good shape. So we get to equip this for free because of the ability of Fervent Champion. We'll send our Fervent Champion on the offensive. I'm sure the opponent will remove it somehow. Then we'll play Rotting Regisaur and Blood Crypt tapped and say go. The opponent could just trade it with one of these. If they want to do that, I'm fine with that. Getting power and toughness off their side of the board means that we have a better chance of winning, I think. They both have... This one has first strike. Okay. They didn't need to do that, but now we know what they had. Then they gain a little bit of life. Here's the dinosaur. They needed that Paragon for the dinosaur, so let's hope they didn't draw another. So we know about their contender. We know that there's another card that probably costs 2 or more mana, or else they would have played it out last turn. And I think they drew this Inspiring Veteran, or they would have played it last turn. So whatever card they didn't play last turn, it could be another Paragon or Bonecrusher Giant, unfortunately. And it's not an Embercleave. We know it's not an Embercleave. It does feel like another Paragon is in the cards. If they attack, if they attack with a Fervent Champion, they definitely have another Paragon. Ooh. Alright. Well, Bonecrusher Giant, ready to take one for the team? Let's see if they have a trick. What does that tell me? It tells me Bonecrusher Giant is most likely their card. Suit up. We didn't come here to not attack you, so lock it in. That's happening. Make sure you can stop it. Is it a second Paragon? They did draw a second Paragon. It's so mean. I don't think we win now. I think we had a shot, and I think it just went away. What's our opponent have? 11 damage and we're at 12? We have to remember there's the damage from the Stormfist Crusader. So we are required to block. I think that means we can't win, but we'll make our opponent decide to attack with everything before we concede. They shocked. Okay, that's good enough for me. Chusio. Okay. Another unkeepable hand. On the draw again. This is another one of those games I could honestly just concede without even playing, and I'm probably better off for it. We'll keep this, see what happens. It does I guess I have to draw a mountain at some point anyway because of Bone Crusher Giant. Well, we drew a 1-drop. Gruul. Gruul Bone Crusher Giant. Yep. Alright. We'll see if we can get them to Bone Crush the Gutter Bones. In that case... do I play this just to get it Bone Crushed on? I think we'll just Bone Crush our opponent instead and make them Bone Crush the Gutter Bones. See how that works? And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stomp my own creature so they don't get the giant. Funny, but their giant goes to the graveyard, mine goes to Adventure, where I can now cast it next turn. Fervent Champion and a Stormfist Crusader. I don't have to play the Bone Crusher Giant this turn. I could have 2 creatures on the board, which means I could Embercleave the following turn. Questing Beast mode, Skargan Hellkite. Which hasty monster do we get to face this time? Yep. What do you know? Card is a pain. Well, we hit another Fervent Champion, but we don't have the red mana to play that and an Embercleave, which is pretty rough. We could attack with 2 Fervent Champions, let the opponent Questing Beast one of them, and still hit the opponent for 4 with the Stormfist Crusader. That would also let us play a Bone Crusher Giant this turn. And that can trade with the Questing Beast. The other idea is to Embercleave. If we Embercleave, we get to kill the Questing Beast, and I guess we can suit it up on the Fervent Champion next turn. And that's probably best. Okay, the opponent says no blocks. I think we'll just make this play. Wreck 'em. Getting that much damage through puts them very close to dead. And we'll see if they can answer. They have the ambush, of course. Makes sense. And now a Fervent Champion with an Embercleave can't get through the Questing Beast. That's not good. But of course we do have the other Fervent Champion. Okay, double ambush, because why not? It's pretty strong draw. Pretty good stuff. And a Rakdos Knight. Can't block, but definitely applies pressure. So now we have to rebuild. So here's my Bone Crusher Giant. Here's my Gutter Bones. And we equip this up for free, but we don't have an attack, so we say go. But next turn we throw the Embercleave on the Bone Crusher Giant. See if the opponent can survive. They have a good attack here with the Questing Beast. Yep, can't do anything about that. Down to 4. Oh man, they drew a ball of stats called Lovestruck Beast. That's perfect. That's an awesome draw. So now I don't think I can win. I can play you, which can make the attack for my opponent pretty difficult. Because I can gain Death Touch. I can trade with the Questing Beast. This Lovestruck Beast is a problem, but I can chump it. So let's play you and say go. We need the opponent to blank. Questing Beast it is. So before blocks, we have to pump, or otherwise we can't even block the Questing Beast with this. Then we put it in front, and that will trade, because the Knight gains Death Touch. Another land off the top is far from ideal. But it is time to suit up. We need all the black mana, I guess, if we're going to draw with Castle somehow? I don't know. What you got? You must stop it somehow. Yep. Down to 4. We were able to save some blockers. Now, because a Questing Beast kills me, I can move this Embercleave over to this Gutter Bones and I'll be able to stop a Questing Beast from my opponent. If I do that, the Bone Crusher Giant will die. But I think I can still win the game. So I'm doing it. It would be really funny to see the Questing Beast here. Ah, they scoop. Okay. Okay. Whew. Scary. All right, we're on the play. Let's see if we just win. I haven't been able to win a single game on the draw. I don't think I've lost a single game on the play. All right, looks like our opponent playing some kind of Rakdos. Get him. Yep. What can you do? We have a bunch of 1 toughness creatures, okay? The cat's pretty solid. Butcher, sure. I think we'll ambush that Butcher. We come out positive in life. We're obviously having a Rakdos scrap. Now let's see if the opponent's prepared for the Regisaur. Mayhem Devil. Drop off the Rider since we don't have the mana really to play it. Here comes the Dino. How about other Dino? It's a lot of damage. We'll see if the opponent has the combination of like Claim the Firstborn and Witch's Oven to get us. There it is. So do you have a way to sacrifice this? I'm not blocking. Aha! No sacrifice outlet. I've been waiting for somebody to have Claim the Firstborn when they couldn't sacrifice to it. Down to 5. And a Knight of the Ebon Legion. Little sidekick for the mighty dinos. And that's game. I think the key turn there was going first. Dan Zed. De NZ Eddie. The New Zealand Ed. So, we're on the play. We have a Murderous Rider we can't play, a Regisaur, an Embercleave, a Gutter Bones. We need to draw a 2-drop. I think that makes this keepable. So if I draw a 1 or a 2-drop off the top, the curve is great. If I don't, it's very, very meh. This Cauldron Familiar is going to wreck me. Hey, we did it. I don't think we attack with Gutter Bones, though. I might want this Gutter Bones to help me play this Embercleave on turn 4. Would you like to shock yourself some more? No? No oven, just a goose. Okay. Well, that opens up the Murderous Rider, but I don't think we're going to use it. I'll send in the champion just because the opponent might be scared to block with the goose, and it looks like we steal a damage because of that. And then here's our dinosaur, next turn's our Embercleave. So your turn 4 had better be an exciting one. Mayhem Devil would be good. Wicked Wolf's okay. But that's why we saved our Gutter Bones. So I will discard you. Draw. Land. Attack. Suit up the Regisaur. Deal 1 billion. They're not dead. They're just close. Down to 2. Let's see if they can deal. A very big Regisaur, and they don't have the 2 life to spend on a Murderous Rider. And that was, indeed, game, with a crucial play being going first. Namu is our opponent. We're going first. We have a slow black source, which is very unsettling. But otherwise the hand is good. We'll give it a try. And we'll lead on the champion and give ourselves a chance to top deck a swamp. Or Tournament Grounds. I guess Tournament Grounds doesn't do it for Gutterbone, so it has to be a swamp. That was all it took. That was all it took. TH BAP. The BAP. Cheth BAP. Going first. No 1-drop, but a lot of stuff. We have Crusader into Regisaur into Paragon shenanigans for days. Our opponent on a Scryland. You know how I feel about these? I'm not even crafting them anymore. I'm not going to craft the Scrylands from the latest set. Not even going to touch them. I think they're that slow and that bad. Of course, if you're in best of 3, I think it's playable. But even in best of 3, I think this will cost you more than it will help you. In best of 1, I think they're completely unplayable. Unacceptable. Dino droppings. Go ahead. Play your Lovestruck Beast. Edgewalling Keeper. That draws cards. Paradise Druid. Alright, draw Embercleave, win. What's our discard? Guess we'll drop off Bones here because I'm probably going to use the Paragons. Well, guys, there you go. There you go. You can even sneak a little bit more out there. There you go. This is the way Magic was meant to be. Anybody chumping the Regisaur? Anybody want some of that? Yep. 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 Worst good game of all time. That was actually, I accidentally clicked the emote thing, but once I did, I was like, the opponent's already gone. For the lulz. Pepinilu. I guess. The toughie. What is this hand? Doesn't matter, we're on the draw. It's nothing good can happen. Nothing good ever happens on the draw. I'm really torn between playing this tap land or not. I'm going to stay an optimist. I'm going to give myself a chance to draw a swamp here. Take your pick. Eats on the Crusader. I guess it's the only thing that can utilize red mana in the hand. In your Teferi. Okay. Ding ding. And we'll play this at flash speed to play around something like Cry of the Canarium, sorcery speed removal, stuff like that. Take your pick. Double Thought Erasure. I have found Thought Erasure too slow, but the opponent's not on the draw. They are on the play. So maybe Thought Erasure is what they need. And they're ready for their fires. Fires is coming. There's another Crusader. What do you think? Are we going to get swept? I think we will. Therefore, I think we play out the Gutter Bones and hold up the Black Lance Paragon and give the opponent a nice 5 points of damage. Math to the face. You double Thought Erased me. You threw a Teferi in your bin. What have you got? Triple Thought Erasure. Alright. We'll run this out now. I'd rather have the 3 points of damage than the Stormfist Crusader. Triple Thought Erasure, no effect on the board. The opponent is about to take... They're about to go to 1. They're about to go to 1. Not quite lethal. Alright. I'm sure they'll sweep the board. We top deck Fervent Champion and win. Temple of Silence. Opponent's on some brew. We see they have Deafening Clarion they put in the graveyard. So they like set this up to get the absolute best Deafening Clarion that they possibly could, and they were willing to go to 1 to do it. Yeah, let's put out a Gutter Bones. We'll hang on to this in case they play something to block the Gutter Bones, and that's their way of not dying. Oath of Kaya, sure. Now they go up to 4. The recovery period is commencing. They're down to 1 last card. Next turn we can start using the castle. This feels like classic, like very old school Magic, where the opponent would like try to wear you out of resources, sweep you once, and win the game. We'll see how it works out for them. Granted. They need life gain and a removal. Let's see what they find. We could also play it as a blocker, which that slows us down pretty good. Let's see what they get. It's got to be a Planeswalker, right? This looks like a 5-color Planeswalker deck. Liliana. They'll play that next turn. They have the 1/4 for this turn. Oh, baby. Do we save that for the Liliana? Yeah, we save that for the Liliana. May as well gain my life. If the opponent were still at 1, this would have been lethal. 2 beacons. Perfect draw. Well, I guess if life gains everything, but it's not. Hey, let's see if the opponent wants to attack me with their Fae of Wishes. No? Swift End. We drew the Cleave, but we can't cast the Cleave. We could draw another card with the Castle, or we could play out the Murderous Rider. Let's play the Rider. Attacking there would just trade with the zombie, which I don't think is what we want to do. If we're going to do that, we want to get some damage through. Also, we give ourselves this opportunity. If the opponent doesn't block one of these, oh my god, are they going to die? If that card doesn't do something relevant, they die. They died. Triple Thought Erasure, Deafening Clarion, Oath of Kaya, Liliana, and you died.